Martin Freeman, the acclaimed British actor best known for his roles in major franchises and critically praised television series, has rarely delved deeply into his personal life during public appearances. However, in a candid and introspective conversation on the podcast, How to Fail with Elizabeth Day, he opened up about a surprisingly relatable yet often unspoken aspect of romantic partnerships: the experience of feeling profoundly lonely even while in a committed relationship. This admission from Freeman, who has navigated long-term relationships and the complexities of fame, sheds light on a universal human emotion that many people encounter but few discuss openly due to societal pressures and personal inhibitions. Freeman articulated his thoughts with characteristic thoughtfulness, explaining that he has come to recognize a specific internal signal within himself. He described it as a subtle but unmistakable sense of isolation that can emerge unexpectedly, even in the presence of a partner. What I do know about myself is that if you start to feel lonely in a relationship, or like I'm on my own here somewhere in ways that you can't explain or ways that you can't sort of broach with your other half, it indicates something, he shared. This feeling, he suggested, is not merely a fleeting mood but a meaningful indicator that something fundamental in the dynamic may need attention or reflection. It points to a disconnect that might not be immediately visible on the surface but can grow if left unaddressed. For much of his adult life, Freeman was in a long-term relationship with fellow actress Amanda Abbington. The pair were together for 16 years, during which they collaborated professionally on several projects that showcased their on-screen chemistry. They appeared together in drama such as The Debt and The Robinsons, but their most memorable joint work came in the hugely popular BBC series Sherlock, where Abbington portrayed Mary Morstan, the eventual wife of Freeman's character, Dr. John Watson, opposite Benedict Cumberbatch's iconic Sherlock Holmes. Their real-life partnership produced 2 children, a son named Joe, now 19, and a daughter named Grace, now 17. The couple's eventual separation was handled privately, with both parties maintaining respect and focusing on co-parenting, but Freeman's recent comments hint at the kinds of internal struggles that may have contributed to relational shifts over time. In the podcast discussion, Freeman explored why people often hesitate to confront these feelings of loneliness head-on. He pointed to the powerful influence of loyalty and the fear of appearing disloyal by even entertaining doubts. I think sometimes we complicate things in our own minds because we think anything that approaches a questioning of our current state with our relationship, say, is a bit disloyal or something, or is a bit verboten. I shouldn't even be thinking about it, he observed. This internal censorship, he argued, can prevent honest self-examination and communication, turning what might be resolvable issues into deeper sources of alienation. By framing these thoughts as forbidden, individuals inadvertently amplify their impact, making it harder to address them constructively with a partner. Freeman emphasized that such uncomfortable thoughts and emotions are not abnormal or indicative of failure. Rather, they are an inevitable part of any long-term human connection. You're bound to have feelings and thoughts and memories and whatever that might be uncomfortable, he noted. He highlighted the importance of empathy in recognizing that a partner experiences their own inner world just as richly and privately. That's the other thing you forget, all the stuff that I'm feeling, so is she. She's got this entire universe in her head that I am not literally part of. This acknowledgement of separate mental and emotional universes underscores a mature perspective on relationships, one that accepts individuality while striving for closeness. Since 2020, Freeman has been in a relationship with French actress Rachel Benaissa, who is notably younger at 31. While he has kept details of this romance relatively private, his reflections suggest he approaches it with the same self-awareness he brings to his work. He has learned to normalize the presence of complex feelings rather than suppress them, which could foster healthier dynamics over time. Freeman's professional life continues to thrive amid these personal insights. He most recently starred in Netflix's adaptation of Agatha Christie's Seven Dials Mystery, a project that allowed him to showcase his versatility in period drama and mystery genres. Known for his understated yet compelling performances in everything from the Hobbit trilogy as Bilbo Baggins to the dark comedy of Fargo, Freeman has built a career on portraying characters who grapple with inner conflicts, much like the real-life reflections he shared on the podcast. His willingness to discuss loneliness and relationships adds a layer of authenticity to his public persona, reminding audiences that even successful actors face the same emotional challenges as anyone else. In broader terms, Freeman's comments resonate with ongoing cultural conversations about mental health and partnerships. Psychologists often note that loneliness within relationships, sometimes called emotional loneliness, can be more painful than being single because it involves unmet expectations of connection. Factors like poor communication, differing emotional needs, unresolved past traumas, or the routine of daily life can contribute. Freeman's emphasis on not shaming oneself for these feelings encourages open dialogue, potentially helping others recognize and address similar experiences. By sharing this, he normalizes vulnerability, challenging the notion that long-term relationships should always feel perfectly fulfilling without effort or introspection.